Hey everybody, it's Lance the Lush, and today we're looking at the Millersburg Brewing Company's Opossum Run Pale Ale. Now, Lush fans, this is the second in as many weeks I have done a review on Millersburg Brewing Company. I'm sorry. The brewers actually reached out to me and asked me a couple more reviews. Now I have this one here with the Opossum Run. Now they have their peanut butter one also, so I gotta flag that one down again. But that one is hopefully coming soon. Now it says it's hoppy and malty right on the can. Now I turn to my monitor, and according to the official webpage, the Opossum Run Pale Ale, as you look at, excuse me, I'm sorry. As you look at your pour of the deep golden ale, you will notice the slightly hazed hue imparted by the dry hopping. Bringing the glass to your nose, your senses will distinguish an aroma of hops and a slight hint of sweet maltiness. Then as the pale ale, crosses your tongue, you'll feel a slight carbonation bite followed by the taste sensation of the 4 American hops blended to balance out the sweet malt flavors. Finishing nearly dry, you'll be left wondering if this is a hoppy beer or a malty beer. Don't think too long about this dilemma for having another sip. And in parentheses it says, no animals were hurt, injured, or used in production of this beer. Now, for the record, and I'm going to talk about this first. According to the official webpage, the alcohol by volume is 6.40%, and the IBUs are 24. However, according to the can, it tells me it's 5.70% alcohol by volume. So I'm wondering, did he have to change it up a little bit for canning production? I'm not totally sure, and I didn't ask them before I did this review. But I'm very excited to have this. I wanted to have it last week, and I chose not to do it. I decided to sit on it till this week. We got it here now. So we're going to try it right now. Now the first thing I did was make a mess. So you got no smoke whatsoever. But as I turn it the right way, as we go for the pour, the first thing I noticed, and I had to stop for a minute, it's definitely pouring like a malt. And a deep malt at that. And you have to excuse me, Lush fans, I got to concentrate a little bit more on this one than normal. The first thing I noticed is dark like a malt. This definitely doesn't look like a pale ale to me, and maybe my eyes are deceiving me because I don't have my contacts or my glasses in right now. Now I'm looking at it, has about 2.5 or so fingers per head. A lot of it has to do because the way I poured it. But I'm getting quite a bit of carbonation. I'm seeing it's centered, but it's spread out from the bottom in the center, like I said. So you have that there. Now, as far as the smell, the first thing that jumped into my head was the malt itself. Now, hoppiness remains to be seen because I haven't sipped it yet, but that's the first thing that jumped out to me was the malts. Now, I'd be curious to know what kind of malts they used. And it's like, and I apologize, my Lush fans, my light to your stage left has been flickering, and I don't know why. Now, I will say this, the head is very, very, very frothy, and I do like that. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Now, I'm looking at the can. Now, obviously, if you know anything about Millersburg Brewing, and when I present it, they have Rosie here. And Rosie here, or Wild Rosie, excuse me, got the glasses on. Got him, like, in the back, got a couple of meese. Not mouse, but meese. There's 2 of them on there. Running around. So, I've always liked their cans. That was a big draw of me to them from the beginning. And people who's watched me for a while, and I've done a review with them, knows that. Okay, I'm going off a little tangent there. I'm trying to get some hops, and I have some faint hop smell. So we're going to take a nice sip, and I want to thank the good people of Millersburg Brewing for producing this. So, Cheers. There's definitely hops there. Now, here's the thing. The hops are there, but they're muted. They're very muted because of the malts. Now, anyone, like far as reviewers, know exactly what I'm talking about. But like Joe or Jane, craft beer drinker, let me explain something. In this particular situation, the malts are there for a reason. They're there specifically to mute the hops. Now, as far as the 4 hops, I should have asked them first what hops are in it. But I'm not going to guess, even though I got a good idea and I don't want to be wrong, per se. I will say, I think Citra is one of them. But don't quote me on that. And the brewers down there are probably gonna hammer me on that one because I'm wrong. But that's just an educated guess, or maybe it's just me. But the malts are doing its job. It's keeping it very muted as far as the hops. It's not a hop forward beer by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not so malty where it's like a malt liquor. But it's definitely not that. But it's not malted to the point to where it's flat. And for a lot of you to drink a lot of craft beer, if it's very malty, you do run in that situation from time to time where it's so malted that it is flat. And the carbonation is the only thing propping it up. And this one is not one of them. Now, I would like to know, Opossum Run, I'm wondering where they're getting that name from. Now, up here in Northeast Ohio, like the Cleveland radio station, Cleveland TV stations, they'll go down to Mansfield, down to Opossum Run. Like they usually has the coldest temperature, one of the coldest temperatures in the state at times, because it's so low lying, so far away, so far in the country. I'm wondering wondering where they got the name from. So Possum Run Road, Mansfield. I'm not saying that they used it. They used to play on that. But I'm going to take a really good guess. And that's the reason why they used that name. So, please tell me if I'm correct with that. I had to think about that for a minute. But this is really good. I'm sorry, I'm having allergy problems today. This is really good. The Lush recommends. Now, what kind of score I'm giving this? Honestly, being a pale ale, even though in my eyes, I don't really think it's that pale, at least to me. I'll give it a 3.5. And you're probably wondering why. Lance, you're talking about this one. Here's the reason why. I would put this in the deep fall, early winter category. I would. And a lot of that is because, and I'm watching probably a little bit of yeast sediment float. It's floating down up one of those deals. It's probably one of those ones where you probably need to get deeper into the season to really, really, really enjoy this. And I know this is middle of October when I tape this. I'm probably looking mid-November, right before Thanksgiving, to really, really, really enjoy this one. Not into the true Christmas season. I'm not saying that. I'm definitely saying November beverage. But the Lush does recommend. Well, Lush fans, I'm going to get off here and stop rambling. This is the Millersburg Brewing Company's Opossum Run Pale Ale. And stay tuned for the next edition of Lance Lush.